Hello, everybody. My name is Carla, and today I'm going to be touching points on chapter 5, which is logical consequences. So let's get to it. There are four goals of misbehavior in the classroom, and this is crucial that we know. So when we have our own classroom, we know what we're looking for and how we're going to solve the problem. So for the first one, as you can see right here, I did like a little poster. Like I said, there's four major goals, and the first one is attention seeking. And this is when a student feels part of the class when they are getting attention from the teacher or their peers. This is where you can see is the class clown, is the teacher's pet. And I know we have seen this in the classroom when we used to be in high school and elementary school. They're trying to seek attention somehow. So they're going to be doing something in the classroom to get the attention. And this is one of the misbehavior. Number two is power seeking. And this is when the student feels part of the class when they're controlling the teacher or a student. So usually that's when you see them, they contradict what the teacher is saying. They have a temper tantrum. And later on, we're going to be talking about what should we do when this is happening in our classroom. But for now, I just want you to see what kind of behaviors can be in the classroom. So the first one was attention. The second one was the power. That's when the student wants to get power. They want to be above of the teacher. So this can be happening in the classroom, obviously. Number three is revenge seeking. And this is when the student feels left out. So they strike out at a classmate or the teacher. So usually this is when they are aggressive or they're the class, they're being bullying other people. And this is one, like, I feel the worst one, because the other ones you can control, but when you come into bullying, that's when a lot of students going to be uncomfortable, they're not going to feel safe, and this can be really bad in the classroom. So we have to know how we're going to manage that in the classroom. So that's number three. And number four is failure avoid. And this is when the student feel that they cannot achieve anything in the classroom. They're incapable of doing anything socially or academically. So usually when you see this, the student is usually sleeping or daydreaming. And actually, I'm one of, like, I understand this a lot because I used to be one of those students, like, sleep in class most of the time. And not because I didn't feel like I was gonna, like, fail the class or anything. I just knew what was going on in the class and I already had a knowledge of it. So I usually was sleeping. But of course, this can become even though they're not doing anything against anybody in the classroom, but they are hurting themselves. So we have to try to help them out so they don't fail the classroom. They can successfully be successful in the classroom. So these are the four misbehaviors: attention seeking, power seeking, revenge seeking, and failure avoidance. So you can see he's mad, and this one he's sleeping. So now we're going to talk about how to react to these behaviors. Okay. So for the first one, attention seeking, usually we can provide a signal. Okay. Most of the students, if they're doing something, the teacher will give them a look, and she's still giving the lesson, because what we're supposed to do here, we cannot stop the lesson to give the student attention. That's what they want. They want attention, and we don't want to give that to them. We want them to, like, give them a look that they know they're doing something wrong, so they can stop, but you're still talking. This can help a lot with students where some student, they're trying to get attention somewhere and the teacher looks at them or points at them and they'll stop. But sometimes that doesn't work all the time, and they need sometimes a timeout. I've seen this in my observation class. There is one student that likes to be walking around the classroom, talking, raising his hand, wants to, like, he wants attention. So the teacher usually, like, ignores it, doesn't pay attention. She looks at him, he'll stop, and sometimes she'll give him a timeout. So he has to go to this corner in the classroom and he needs to, like, think about what he did wrong. So I think that's pretty good that we can do when we have our own classroom. Number two, power seeking. Do not get involved. Okay, that's where they want to be on top of you. They want to get the power of the classroom. Do not get involved. Do not give them that attention, because as soon as you stop and give that to them, they feel like they have the power to stop you from the lesson. A lot of students going to be looking, and you cannot do that. You have to ignore it, even though it's going to be kind of hard. This is where we're going to get mad that we want to get the inner self out, but we can't do that. We have to be calm, especially when we're working with little kids. They were gonna know the lesson later on. Even though the beginning is gonna be kind of hard, but they're gonna understand that they can be doing that in the classroom. You cannot get involved. Try to ignore it and move on from it. Revenge seeking. Talk about their behavior. This is where the student is aggressive and they're being a bully in the classroom. This is where you want to talk to them privately. Do not do it in front of the classroom. Just take a moment when you have a chance. If the class is over, just take me aside and just talk to them. Like, what is going on? Why you're being aggressive? There's something that I should know. Like, show them that you care for them. It's not always about punishing the student. That's what we're going to be talking about later on. But you can't be punishing a student for everything. You show them that you care, that you want to help them out, because this is going to help a lot with their behavior. And lastly, failure. This is the one that's always sleeping, daydreaming. They think that they're not capable of doing anything in the classroom. And what should we do with this kind of behavior? Just use different strategies. When I was in that situation and I was sleeping in the classroom, my teacher would just touch my shoulder, talk to them. Sometimes it can be something going on in the house. They cannot sleep. This is where a teacher can investigate what is going on, because of course she don't want her students to be failing her classroom. So for us, we had to, talk to them privately, touch their shoulder in the classroom, look at them. If the area is working in pairs and groups or something, just go up to them and tell them, like, you need help, are you okay? Show them that they care. Be there for them. If they need help them out. So these kind of behaviors can change up, and you can know what is going on with your students. So yeah, these are the 4 types of behaviors: attention, the power, the revenge, and failure. This is going to be happening a lot in the classroom, so you need to know what is going on. But what do we do in this situation? So Rudolf Drakers, he had 3 major points. So the first one, he believed the student misbehaved in motivation to get recognized by their peers or as to be accepted. So this is the 4 ones that I was talking to you about. This is the one that he was talking about. It's one of his major points in his theory. Also, he believes discipline should not be a punishment, and also give students responsibilities and choices as well. So instead, what can we do when this is happening in the classroom? I was thinking that we can do reflection sheets. So if a student is doing something bad, there's going to be a sheet that's going to be given around in the classroom when they do something wrong, and they have to reflect on themselves. What did I do wrong? What can I do to fix the problem? So this sheet, you will always have it in the classroom, and every time the student does something, you just give it to them so they can reflect on it. There's going to be questions, so they can be thinking what did they wrong. So sometimes students don't know what they're doing. They just do it because they're impulses or something. So you have to show them responsibility, and the choices they make can come, consequences. Write an apology letter. I saw this. It was my teacher has in my observation, like the teacher that I'm going to. And every time they bully somebody or they say something inappropriate, they had to write an apology letter to that student or their teacher. So I thought that was pretty cool to have. Also, you can losing a few minutes of recess. Allow every kids like recess. They want to have fun. And if they do something bad, then you can tell them, you're going to lose a couple minutes of recess because you did this behavior. What will you do next time if this happened? The game choices. Like, if you do this, if you do the right thing to do, you're going to be out on recess, have fun. But if you do misbehave, you don't follow the rules in the classroom, this is going to be happening. So logical consequences. Also, Peace Corner. I thought it was really cool and fun. So usually if they do something wrong, you just send them to a corner in the classroom, and they have to think about and reflect pretty much on the reflection sheet. But instead of writing it down, they can just go in the corner and think about what they did wrong, and they come up to you and they'll tell you what they did wrong, like how can they fix it, I'm sorry. So depending how time management is in the classroom, if you have time to do the sheets, perfect. But if there's not enough time, it's the school, the class is over, then just go in the corner, think about what you did wrong, and come back to me. And lastly, present choices for the students. So how we're going to do this in the classroom. So I wish I had somebody that can help me out so I can act it out, but obviously I'm by myself. So first things first, as a teacher, we have to identify the goal of misbehavior. So as soon as the student is doing something, think, what are they trying to do? What's their behavior? Is that you're trying to get attention? Are they trying to be a bully? Are they trying to get power or be above me? Or are they, failing on seeking? So you gotta check first, which kind of behavior are they looking for? And then talk to them privately. Don't try to get attention in the classroom, because that's just going to have more problems. A lot of students are going to see what's going on. They probably want to do it too. Just talk to them privately if you have a problem with that student. Provide encouragement to the students. And also, I have a PowerPoint here. And use logical consequences, okay? So, strategies to dealing with difficult students. One of the key things to look into is to try to know why the student is acting a particular way. And that's what we're talking about, like why. That's the major thing that you have to do always. Attain the confidence that they can overcome daily struggles. When something happens in the classroom, the next day, refresh. You don't know what happened. Everything's brand new. Do not keep having that thought, like, yesterday this kid did this, like, I know what's going to happen. No, start refresh. Let the student know, like, you forgot what happened. We're going to start something new today. They have to keep it up. Be responsible. Do your good choices. Get students to believe that each choice they are responsible for. And have them know that they can control their emotions. If something is happening, let them know that they can change. Like, give them choices so they can change their behavior. Because we don't want the same behavior happening in the classroom. You want to change their behavior so they can become better in the classroom with the teachers and their peers. And yeah, this is the chapter 5 overview of logical consequences. So hopefully you guys like it and learn something new. If you have any question, of course, you can drop down and I will gladly answer any questions you guys have. Thank you and have a great day.